Welcome back, everyone, to another episode. I am super grateful that you are here with me today. And today I want to share a little bit from my own journey about making decisions and how this is related to the Sacral Center in human design. So, in particular, if you are a generator or a manifesting generator with a defined sacral, we often talk about, but I have also learned that this is the essence overall of the sacral center and in some way applies to all of us. But we tend to learn this through the generator types. And I myself, in the tropical, I'm a manifesting generator. In the true sidereal human design, I am a generator. So I have spent a lot of time contemplating this and how it really applies in my own life. And I'm actually going to use a real story that I have been experiencing this year of how this sacral center actually impacts the decisions that we're making, especially aligned decisions. So, what is right and what is not aligned for us in some way. So, with that, I want to share with you that I started the Your Big Leap Year journey earlier this year. It was actually on my birthday. I picked up the book and I started to read it and I got really excited about it. And in that moment, I decided that I wanted to share this Big Leap Year Journey, which is a wonderful book by Gay Hendricks, where he's talking about the concept of the book, The Big Leap, but it's broken down into like daily, very short chapters. And I was like, you know what? I want to share this on a daily basis because one, this is going to help you guys watch it on YouTube in that case and also for me in terms of accountability. So I'm actually going to do it. And so I started doing it and I felt really good. And I started to share 2, 3, 5 minute ish videos every day about, what the book talks about on that particular day. Spending more time in your zone of genius. That's really the big work that Gay Hendricks has been bringing into this world. And that is so aligned for me with human design because human design for me is really about you aligning with your greatest gifts and actually using them rather than compromising and doing something that you do out of scarcity or you do it because you feel like you have to do it or to people please and all these things, right? I think we have all been there. I've definitely had my fair share of experiences with that. So, anyways, I did this and it really felt right for quite some time to do these videos. And right now, I think I'm around day 170-ish. So I'm almost halfway through the book. And I can tell you, it has been an incredible journey because every day there is this prompt to focus on something. It's wonder questions, it's contemplating on the different zones we can fall into when it comes to using our zone of genius, where it's about your zone of incompetence or competence, and then your zone of genius. That's where we really want to hang out most of the time. And also allowing myself to feel more good for longer periods of time. And this is something that takes time. It's a very slow and steady progress. And as I have been on this journey, I actually started to slow down a lot. And I started to realize that there are a lot of things that I was doing and I'm still doing that actually not that aligned with my zone of genius. Yes, I can do them and I may be actually really good at it, but it's not the effortlessness and the joy that I experience when I'm in my zone of genius. I think you know very well how it feels when, you do something, you get a reward for it, and you make good money with it, and you like the validation, all of it, and you can do it, but you still feel like it may also burn you out eventually. Versus when you do something just because it's so much fun, it feels like play, it feels like a hobby, it feels like time is flying out of nowhere. You could do it and you would do it not even when you get paid. But guess what? You actually do get paid for it and abundantly, and it's going to create the biggest win-win for also society when you do that, when you allow other people to also be in their zone of genius. Because I really believe that when I do something that is not in my zone of genius, right, that yeah, I can do it, but other people may be even more enjoying doing it and it comes even more effortless to them, that when I let go of it, I can make space for another person so that they then can be in their zone of genius. So it's all about like reallocation. And of course, it's a process because there's a lot of letting go involved. And for the ego, that's not an easy thing to do because we humans are creatures of habit. And anytime there's a big change, it feels a little bit like a threat because it's not familiar and hence safe to the nervous system, right? So that's just to share with you what I have been experiencing so far. And I love it so much. I'm going to continue doing that. However, what happened, and now I'm going to bring my sacral into the equation here, that making these videos every day where I felt like I have to record it, I have to tell everybody about it, and then I have to upload it to YouTube, it started to feel draining to me. I was like, okay, well, maybe it's just like a little plateau because this is the sacral center. So the big message of the sacral center is that we are supposed to do what lights us up. So when you get an opportunity, is this like this sacral? Yes. For me, it's this like light and expansive feeling in the body. It's like, ooh, yeah, you're leaning forward. If something is a no, it's like a contracting sensation, more dull. It's like, no. It also takes practice to tune into that. Yes or no questions are usually very helpful to tune into this energy, to feel in your body what is a clear yes and what is a clear no to you. And if it's neither a clear yes or clear no, that's usually more like it's a no because there's at least no clarity in the moment, right? And then I always think it's better to wait. So with that, I started to feel a consistent no in my body when it was about like, okay, I have to create a video and post it onto my YouTube channel. And what I have learned also from the Sacral Center is that it has a natural stair-step learning curve, which means there are times where we go up on the staircase, it feels really amazing, energy is flowing, it's even energizing, we do it, it feels good. And then we hit a plateau, meaning it feels kind of dull, it feels kind of like nothing is working, you're not as excited, and it's kind of blah. And that is actually normal for anything we do in life. Even when you are in your zone of genius, it is normal that sometimes life slows you down to recalibrate because we're not always going to feel like 100%, oh my God, I love doing it, right? And but what then happens usually is that you get back out of this plateau after some time as you just be with it. You're not trying to fix it. That's really important. But then it usually goes back up and you feel again more energized by it. You love doing it and it takes you kind of to the next level. So this is why I just took a little break first. I went on vacation, but then I picked it up again. And then I still was like, I'm not 100% feeling it. I was trying to talk myself into it, to be quite frank. But then I really had to have this moment of truth with myself and like, hey, Nalina, are you doing this because you made this commitment at the beginning of the year and you have to prove it to yourself and others that you can do it? Or is this really something that feels super aligned and your sacral, your gut is telling you that as well? And I had to say yes to the first. I was like, yeah, no, I feel like I'm trying to prove myself. I have to prove it to others. I don't want to let them down. Typical people pleasing tendencies bubbling up again, which is something that I have been working on for years. And that was such a big aha moment for me. I was like, yeah, no, I have to drop it. My sacral is no longer wanting to do it, and the message is very clear. So, this is why I officially decided, and I'm letting you know that I will no longer be posting these daily big leap year videos on my YouTube channel. However, I really invite you, if that's a sacral yes response for you, to pick up the book, Your Big Leap Year, and follow along at your own pace. Maybe with a friend, that could be really fun too. And for me, so basically, I decided to do it with myself in my own time in a more introverted way at this point, where I will continue with the book at my own pace, also revisit a lot of things because it is so deep, it is so aligned with everything that I have been learning about human design. And yeah, like I said, if that's something you would like to do for yourself, it's a really amazing journey. So, with that, going back to the whole learning lesson here, human design really helps us to make decisions that are aligned for us. And sometimes we have to also learn what's aligned through making a decision that's not aligned, right? We have to kind of go through that process. Like, I'm not perfect, nobody's perfect. There is no like secret recipe when you look at your human design chart. It's like, oh, this is how you're always going to make decision. And no, everything is also different depending on the context, the situation, and such. So for me, there was this phase of like, I felt really excited about it. It was a sacral yes. It felt aligned. And then I started to realize I'm pushing too much. I'm forcing myself. And I allowed myself to be in a plateau first because I have learned that sometimes we prematurely end things or change things because we think it always has to feel like amazing all the time. So it's very wise to just be with it for a little while. And I cannot tell you exactly how long it takes, but it's something that you will feel in your body, you will feel in your energy level. And then at some point, if you never get out of this plateau and it keeps being, no, the energy is not there for you, it's also distracting you from other things that are more needed from you, like where your attention is needed, if that's your family, if that's your personal health, if that's some other areas in your business. It's something probably that you will know. And that's exactly what happened for me, where it was like, yeah, I can still do this, but always having this pressure every day to create a video, I have come to the point of like, I just don't want to do that anymore. It just doesn't feel right. There are really other things that I can and would like to focus on, like recording my podcast episodes or showing up more on my Instagram channel and talking more about human design and true sidereal and all the things that I really love to do, you know? And yeah, maybe here and there I will share a little bit about my big leap year journey, but more like whenever I feel like. So I hope that this helps you as an example how you also can make aligned decisions, and also that it's normal, especially for the generators and manifesting generators, that even though something was a sacral yes, where you felt this like, ooh, yeah, feeling in your body, and you said yes to something, that it can change over time. It may be that sensation for some month and then it shifts. Just make sure that you lean into the plateau. You don't force yourself out of it, because just like nature, we humans have natural rhythms. And sometimes it's peak summer season where everything is on and you're going to go do it and repeat it. And then there's a time of going inward and slowing down and taking a break and taking a pause. And then you may go back up again, right? Or life is totally showing you like this direction you were going, no more. That's not your aligned path. And this is being shown to you by turning off the sacral response. So it's a no, it's a contracting feeling. So really, really pay attention to that. And I can tell you that the more you slow down, the more you go inward, the more you stop feeding your mind consistently with more information where people are trying to tell you what to do, and anything that really connects you more to your body. Spend a lot of time in nature, could that be? Or meditation. You will probably know what that is for you. The more you cultivate this, it helps you to get out of the head and into the body and really be in touch with this inner compass. That's really what we have. I always like to think about your body, and I'm talking right now about the sacral center, that gut feeling. This is like your connection to your highest self, to God, source, universe, that is literally guiding you in every moment to what is aligned for you and what is misaligned for you. What is the path that is calling you in this moment? And sometimes it's taking a pause on that path. You know, where it's just like there's nothing to push, just be, take a pause. And then there are other times where it's again the taking action energy. And when you feel that you are pushing too much, you're putting extra effort into it, and it keeps being like this for a longer period of time, that's really a sign that this is not your most effortless aligned path for you. And maybe for somebody else, but there's something way juicier out there for you. And I know it's sometimes hard because it's about letting go of things, and then we feel like we're disappointing people. But your well being and what feels right in your body, that should always be the priority. I have to remind myself of this all the time. I'm so, so grateful that human design has brought this wisdom into my life. And I want to also just leave you with that message today. Listen to your body, notice where you're pushing too much. Have the awareness of that plateaus are normal. But if we consistently stay in a plateau, it may be time to let go of something and shift into another direction. So I hope this truly serves you. And if you're called to book a reading with me, that's also something that's sometimes really, really helpful to learn more about your chart and also get in touch with how are you actually listening to your body versus just mentalizing everything, because that's something that can very easily happen with human design because there is so much information. And let me tell you, like, less is always more. And I mean, making decisions, it's such an integral part of our lives. With that, have a beautiful rest of your day. Again, thanks for listening, and I'll be back with you on the next episode. Ciao, everyone.